This might be the most important video I've ever made. Is there something people can do to prevent themselves from becoming a victim? I'm going to discuss something human beings have done for thousands of years now, which has helped ensure our survival, and it's something that many people seem to have completely forgotten or they ignore now for a variety of different reasons. It's also something that many domesticated and wild animals continue to do to this day to ensure their survival, and it's something we need to do again. Your safety and survival may depend on it. I've attended thousands of radio calls as a police officer, and I've spoke to countless of victims of crime. And there's something very common that a lot of victims say after the crime was committed, whether it's a simple theft or something more serious like a robbery or a different type of assault where the victim's being hurt. You've probably heard of someone say before, or maybe you even said it to yourself, I got a bad feeling about this person. I knew something was off right away, but I didn't act on it. Or this person gave me the creeps. I'm not talking about situational awareness in this video. I've spoken about that in the past. There are people out there who are just walking victims. They're walking down the street. Their faces are buried in their phones. They're not paying attention to what's going on around them. They're wearing AirPods or headphones. They can't see anything. They can't hear anything. People could walk right up to them, take their bag, take their purse, take their electronics, and they wouldn't even be able to give the police a proper description of the suspect. Again, I've covered the psychological effect of making eye contact with people with a possible suspect in previous videos and how it can often prevent the occurrence from taking place. Something else I feel the need to say is this video is not victim blaming. It's raising awareness about ways to help prevent something terrible from happening to you. It doesn't mean that you did, or if you did or didn't do these things, that you wouldn't be a victim or you're at fault. There's evil people everywhere, okay? And they're at fault. They're responsible. We need to talk about preventative measures that you can take. Crime prevention. I come from a long line of hunters, okay? I've been around that lifestyle and the outdoors my entire life. I've come across a lot of wild animals, both predators and, of course, sad to say, some which are usually prey. And they both have something in common, which they do, which human beings seem to have stopped doing. They stop because they're embarrassed or ashamed, and sometimes they're not even sure why they've stopped. I always tell a story every video, so here we go. So one time we were all on an outing, and I stayed back. We're in the country in an area which some people watching might consider the middle of nowhere. It was in the fall, so it's a little bit cool, and I sat back on the edge of a small hill in the sun along the path. Lots of tall grass around me. Beautiful place. I just sat there for a while taking it in, which more people should do. I hope you have the opportunity to do so. And I heard and then seen two beautiful deer standing quite close to me along the pathway. They were just doing their thing, being gentle deer, beautiful animals, really. I didn't move. I watched them for a bit through the tall grass. And at one point, they became suspicious of their surroundings. You could see it in them, in the way they became extremely alert. Their heads were raised, their ears were kind of moving back and forth all around. They had a heightened sense of awareness while looking in my direction. I don't think they saw me. I don't think they smelled me either, my scent. They weren't downwind from my location, but they knew something was off in their own deer world. So what did they do? They took off. They ran away. They didn't wait around to find out what the heck it was. They just left. Now, how many times have victims of crime, after the fact, said that they had a bad feeling about something or someone, or they knew something was off about the person or the situation, but they didn't do anything. They didn't leave. They stayed. They didn't listen to their instincts, which has, again, helped ensure the survival of not just humans, but most species for thousands of years now. And what I also find sad is that people often don't follow their instincts because they don't want to appear rude. I've heard this said before. Like there's something wrong with them for feeling that way, and they shouldn't, so they stay. Do you think that those deer gave a damn about how I looked, how I was dressed, or if my clothes were dirty or not, my gender, my hairstyle? No, they knew something was off. They felt something was off. They sensed a presence that they didn't like or understand, and they got the heck out of there. They got the heck out of Dodge. I remember watching a video years ago where the victim said that they didn't like the feeling they got from someone, but they didn't leave because they didn't want to insult the person who ultimately ended up abusing them. I'm talking about a feeling which can often just come out of nowhere about someone or a situation. I've seen this 1,000 times in nature with all kinds of species. When something takes off from me, I don't take it personally. And if I did, so what? And, talking about this, another meme comes to mind. You know that one about trusting your dog more than people? Or if my dog doesn't like you, neither do I? There's a lot of truth in that. I've made similar videos to this in the past, not to this extent, and once again being accused of victim blaming. Complete nonsense. One thing about having a channel with a huge focus on law enforcement is people are not afraid to jump on me in the comments when I say or do something they disagree with, or I say do something wrong. If that's the case, let's hear it. I read every single comment and I respond when it's appropriate to do so. Listen, folks, I really appreciate you watching this. And until the next video, be safe out there, look after one another, and perhaps we will see you again.